Well, welcome everybody this afternoon to a beautiful, beautiful day here in the garden for the marriage ceremony of Philip and Chloe Rose. My name is Paul Van Ryck. I am an authorized marriage celebrant and I'll be conducting the ceremony today. As most of you know, Chloe and Philip met 18 months ago at a video gamers meetup in Singapore. Chloe tells me that she had been intrigued for some time to know more about the person who designed the Nonya Knight's adventure Hawker's Revenge. Yeah? And was at first shy to approach Philip when she recognized his name in the meetup program. She went on to the panel at which he was speaking and was, she says, smitten both by his looks and his character, which seemed so opposite to the violence of the games he creates. Philip tells me he was surprised when, after his talk, a young woman approached him, saying how awesome Hawker's Revenge was, and how she had begun developing a fan game based on it called Lady Hawker. They spent the next 2 days in each other's company at every opportunity talking about the two games, and by the end of the meetup they had fallen in love. Now, Philip proposed to Chloe on the last day by asking her to try out a new game he had designed. As Chloe played what seemed to her at first a sappy romantic game, she discovered that the prize at the end of it was a video proposal of marriage from Philip. She tells me she nearly choked on the bowl of noodles she was eating at their favorite hawker stall. She said yes. Philip invited her to meet his parents, Edward and Jane, who were, Philip tells me, delighted with Chloe and very happily gave their blessings to the marriage. Unfortunately, Philip's parents cannot be with us today, but they have sent their best wishes and blessings to Philip and Chloe. They are anxiously awaiting the uploading of the video of the ceremony today. They told me they will gather together at Philip's extended family's house and sit down to a celebratory meal as they watch it. Chloe's mother, Elizabeth, and father, George, are with us today, and I welcome them on behalf of Chloe and Philip. I also want to especially welcome Chloe's daughter, Rose, who I know is very excited to be having Philip as her father. She already plays a game based on Chinese dragons that Philip designed and loves it. And she's looking forward to telling him her ideas for new games to make. It sounds like you're going to be a very busy family designing all these games. As Chloe and Philip have requested, our ceremony today will draw on readings and rituals from a number of different religions and spiritual practices. While neither of them adhere to a particular religion or spiritual practice, they wanted the ceremony to embody the deeper truths they believe that all religions and spiritual practices express, and which they hold as important in their individual lives and now in their lives as a married couple from this day on. So to begin the ceremony, I am going to ask Philip's groomsman, Paul, to come forward and read these verses of the modern-day Persian poet Khalil Gibran on marriage.
You were born together, and together you shall be forevermore. You shall be together even when the white wings of death scatter your days. You shall be together even in the silent memory of God. But let there be spaces in your togetherness, and let the winds of the heavens dance between you. Love one another, but make not a bond of love. Let it rather be a moving sea between the shores of your souls. Fill each other's cup, but drink not from one cup. Give one another your bread, but eat not from the same loaf. Sing and dance together and be joyous, but let each one of you be alone. Even as
you might just wait for half of the while the plane goes. It's always difficult in these gardens in the West.
Even as the strings of a lute are alone, though they quiver with the same music. Give your hearts, but not into each other's keeping. For only the hand of life can contain your hearts, and stand together, yet not too near together. For the pillars of the temple stand apart, and the oak tree and the cypress grow not in each other's shadow.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Philip, for those beautiful words. Family and friends, it's common these days for couples getting married to publicly make a commitment to each other. and Chloe and Philip have chosen to do this through the teachings of the Buddha. Philip, though not a Buddhist, does engage in Buddhist practices, and Chloe now has also begun meditation practice. So they draw their commitment from a famous episode in the life of the Buddha. A priest once asked the Buddha what qualities one should look for in a good friend. He answered that a friend endowed with 7 qualities was a friend worth associating with. Philip and Chloe have chosen to commit to each other that they will strive to act in keeping with these 7 qualities and ask you all to witness their commitment. Now, I will give that to you, Philip or Chloe, yes, and you can have that. Now, what I'd like to do is to ask you two to turn to each other and please, at the same time, make your commitment.
I will give what is hard to give. I will do what is hard to do. I will endure what is hard to endure. I will reveal my secrets to you. I will keep your secrets. When misfortune strikes, I will not abandon you. And when you're down and out, I will not look down on you.
Lovely. I think those 7 qualities are something all of us can take away from today as good things to remember as we go forward in our life. And I'm sure for Chloe's daughter, Rose in particular, it's good to have that at the start of her blossoming into her womanhood. So now, friends, we come to the solemnizing of the marriage of Philip and Chloe, during which time they will exchange rings. Now, the rings they will exchange today are woven from wild grasses to symbolize Chloe's Celtic ancestry, in which rings of woven grass were used to honor Gaia, the Earth Mother, with a wish that in doing so, she would make the marriage a fruitful one. These rings of grass will be exchanged at the wedding breakfast for rings of gold to symbolize the richness of their lives together. Chloe and Philip, I am duly authorized by law to solemnize marriages according to law. Before you are joined in marriage, in my presence and in the presence of these witnesses, I am to remind you of the solemn and binding nature of the relationship into which you are now about to enter. Marriage, according to law in Australia, is the union of 2 people to the exclusion of all others voluntarily entered into for life. Now, I'm going to take these rings. So now I'm going to ask you to exchange vows, and I will start with you, Philip. I'm going to ask you to place that ring on Chloe's finger and then repeat these words after me. I call upon all of you here present to witness
I call upon all of you here present to witness
that I, Philip Go
that I, Philip Gerlin,
take thee, Chloe Rose Hendricks, to be my lawful wedded wife. I'm going to ask you to place that ring on Philip's finger, and you say after me, please. I call upon all you here present to witness
I call upon all you here present to witness
that I, Chloe Rose Hendricks,
that I, Chloe Rose Hendricks,
take thee, Philip Go
take thee, Philip Go,
to be my lawful wedded husband.
to be my lawful wedded husband.
Now, in addition to vows being exchanged, of course, it's traditional at this point in time for the couple to kiss. However, Chloe and Philip, as gamers, have chosen to express the winning completion of a match, in this case their marriage, with the traditional gamers high five. Excellent. Okay, so now, Chloe and Philip, I will now ask you to go to the table where we will sign the official certificates of marriage. And I will ask the guests to let them to the table first, and then if you will all follow them, and then I will also follow you to that table. Guests, friends, we now come to the signing of the certificates of marriage. Again, a particularly solemn moment. So I'm going to ask first that we ask Chloe, if you can sign there, please. And Philip, if you can sign there. Okay. And we'll do the same on here. We have 2 copies of this. So, Chloe, there, yes. And Philip, just there. And now
The pretty one.
the pretty one, yeah. Okay, so there, so.
Okay.
So just give sign this name, please. And Philip. I'll now ask Paul, if you will come first and sign this. Will you two please stay seated while they do it. There's a few there. Thank you. So, if you can sign the form there first. There. And again. And one more time. Over here. Just there. That's fine. Okay, I'll now ask Daphne if she would come forward, please, to sign. Thank you, Paul.
Hi, Dad.
Daphne, if you can sign this there first. Yep, got a couple of them. Simon in the bed, please. Yep, and the last time, just there. Okay. Now, I will also sign these documents in your presence to indicate that I have. Yes, you may.
If you want to sit here.
No, that's fine. I'll remain standing. Okay, that's the certificates done. This is your official certificate of marriage, which you can keep. So, Chloe, if you can sign there. Yep. Philip, if you sign there. Paul, if I can ask you to come forward and similarly sign.
Sure.
Come around this side. Best not reaching between the couples.
The witness here.
Yeah. Yep. That's fine. And Daphne, if I can ask you as well, please. Just there. Okay, and I will sign it so it's official. There you two go. That's
Thank you.
Kissy. Okay, so we'll now repair back to the garden and do the last pieces of our ceremony, and then come back to jail. Family of Chloe and Philip, I give you a newly married couple. Thank you. Okay, beautiful. We can now go in and enjoy some wedding breakfast.
Thank you.
First
Thank
you two and then the...
Like this.